Am I the a-hole for telling my stepdaughter I don't want to be her mom anymore? This is a very long story, so bear with me. So she's a female in her late 30s, and she's married to Joshua, who's 40. And she has a daughter, Ella, who's 18, who also lives in the home and is in her first year of university. She's been married to Josh since Ella was 12 years old. And she's on good terms with her biological mother, and they got married and ghosted her and her father when Ella was only 11. And it broke her so much that Josh decided that they're going to give it some more time before Ella and her would meet. Once they got engaged, Josh finally introduced Ella to her, and they surprisingly clicked. We both loved anime and video games, and we would often play video games together and watch different anime together. When Ella turned 14, she started calling me mom, and we became even closer. Around 17, her biological mom came back into her life and agreed to let her see her mom once a month. She still called me mom, but became more distant than she had ever been. At 18, she started calling me by my name. I will not lie, it stung, but despite all of that, I still treated her like my daughter and called her my daughter to others. About 2 weeks ago, Ella asked if she could borrow some of my body lotion from my room. I didn't think twice about it, because she has done it in the past. But this time I noticed she was taking a while in the room. I called her name and she didn't answer, so I checked on her. She looked panicked and grabbed the lotion off my dresser and rushed out. I thought it was strange and assumed she would be stealing my lipstick or something like that. I got a little annoyed but brushed it off. A few days later, we were hosting a dinner on New Year's Eve. My husband's parents and my sister were invited over for the countdown. During the countdown, my sister in law received a text on her phone and got up from her seat. She whispered into her husband's ear and showed him something on her phone. At first, I was confused but not bothered until my father in law called out to my husband and told him to look at his phone. He did, and his face went pale. He immediately started panicking and asked Ella to talk to him in a separate room. Oh my gosh. Before that could happen, Ella loudly announced, "Did you know your wife was sleeping around?" My mother in law immediately showed me the video and started berating me in front of everyone. My sister tried discreetly to defend me, but my stepdaughter kept instigating by telling my grandparents that I probably cheated on her dad, and that made my mother in law erupt. They tried to convince my husband that I was definitely cheating and that I was not a good fit for him. My husband already knew about the work I used to do and had my back, which only angered them more. My parents left abruptly after a huge argument during which my father in law called my husband a cuck after they left. After that, my sister left shortly after, giving us time to sort things out. My husband dropped Ella off at his parents' house for the night so he could talk to me and cool down. 2 days later, he brought Ella home and talked to her while I was out of the house. He explained that he knew everything about my past and had always been supportive of it. According to him, she realized that she had made a huge mistake. She cried and apologized to him and told him that it was her biological mother told her about my past. At first, she did not believe her until she found the tapes. My husband called me and asked if I wanted to talk to her, but what he did not tell me was that he was next to her and had me on speaker. I ended up saying that I did not feel like I wanted to be near her and that I did not want to be her mother anymore. And she heard everything and started crying on the phone. She told me she was going to stay with her grandparents for a bit until things cooled down. I agree. And that has been the agreement up until recently. My in laws have already started telling people my business and slandering my name because of it, which makes me even more angry at her since she has every opportunity to correct them but has not. I know she's only a teenager, but cannot bring myself to go back to the way things were just because she apologized. Am I being harsh? So there was an edit. 1. I was 20 when I created my first movie. Yes, DVDs existed back then. She said I kept my DVDs because I was proud of my content at one point. And my husband requested that I keep some of the ones he liked. I never thought my stepdaughter would snoop through my things. So no, I did not burn it or hide it. I do not hate my stepdaughter. I just need time to process things. I'm still a human being. My stepdaughter's biological mom is friends with my ex-boyfriend, and he was very involved at that point in my life. That's how she knows about my past. My husband did not tell her. She found out from a third party. So there is an update. So the stepdaughter's biological mother is named Lori. And Lori and I are not on good terms. Back when Lori and Josh were together, she was actually friends with Josh. They never saw each other romantically at the time. Their relationship was platonic. But after a while, Lori started feeling bothered by the friendship with Josh. Instead of talking to her directly, she started asking around about me. And she eventually got information through my ex-boyfriend. And when she found out I was a former actress, she flipped out and accused me of trying to seduce her boyfriend. She called me a homewrecker and trashing me to some of Josh and my mutual friends. Josh eventually broke it up with her after she started threatening me with violence, and they became single co-parents to Ella. Just to clarify, I never had an affair with Josh. So, my husband spoke to Lori about her roles in all this. Many comments pointed out that Ella was being influenced by her mother, which turned out to be true. Lori admitted to my husband that she told Ella I was cheating on him. And she also told Ella about my past to sell the idea that I sleep around a lot. My husband was incredibly upset and called her miserable and insecure. He apparently unleashed hell on her, and she blocked him once again. My stepdaughter is living at home again. She showed up at our door with a handwritten note apologizing for me for everything. Even though I was still a little hurt about New Year's, I couldn't help but feel bittersweet emotion that made me cry hard. In the note, she talked about all the feelings she had kept in for so long. She wrote about how she cried when she found out I was cheating on her dad. She wrote about how she mourned the end of our relationship and how upset she was for her father, going on about how she was stupid to believe her mother. She also wrote that she always loved me, but felt like with her mother in her life, she was forced to choose, even though she thought of me as her real mother at heart. And she thought she should side with her mom because she's blood. In the beginning, it was a little awkward. After a day of awkwardness, we had another conversation about her mother. She told me she didn't want to cut her mom off completely, but she planned to distance herself for a while. I brought up family therapy, but she seemed not to be interested in it, which I respected. We are currently on awkward but civil speaking terms. I'm not sure if things will ever be the same, but I am optimistic that they can improve. I reached out to Josh's parents this morning with Josh beside me on the phone. They apologized in a strange, half hearted way. They said they did not agree with my past, but do apologize for saying I was cheating on my husband. Josh's dad also apologized to Josh for using hurtful words towards him. They never apologized for calling me degrading names, which irritated me, but for now, I'll take it as a win. A lot of comments were bashing Josh for how he handled the phone call. I wasn't extremely upset about it before, but after reading a lot of the comments, I did realize it was kind of a jerk move. I spoke to him about it and he apologized. He thought it would be wise to let Ella hear the consequences of her actions, but did not expect me to say I didn't want to be her mother anymore. I forgave him, as he did what he thought was best at the time, and honestly, I also had a huge mistake by saying I didn't want to be Ella's mom anymore. I signed up for the role when I got married to her father, so I don't and will not hold that brief moment against him, when I was guilty of mistakes as well. But honestly, that's it. I tried to give enough context. I'm not sure if there will be anything else to update after this, but thank you to everyone who made it this far, and thank you to all the people who took an interest in my life. Ooh, someone said if your stepdaughter doesn't want to attend family therapy and isn't willing to address how toxic and manipulative her mother is, I worry this won't end well. And someone else said, what's going to happen regarding the entire community of people your in laws have been slandering you to? It's a bit late to take that back, and they made it public.